StormWatch number 20, written by Jim Starlin, art by Yvel Guichet. So last issue, the whole damn timeline restarted. We got a whole new StormWatch team. They're going out on their first mission, and Lobo's there. He's just on this planet. So anyway, we show up on this planet, and immediately they're in trouble because they just warped into the middle of a crowd. And they're like, oh, geez, everyone's going to know we're here. And then they realize, oh, it seems like nobody cares. But Jenny's soul is getting overloaded by the number of people around. So they're like, all right, we got to get her up to a more isolated place where she can't hear as many minds. And then we'll reevaluate what to do. So they start going to clear a path. And all of a sudden, this weird lizard-looking guy says, oh, I've spotted the target, requesting backup. So then we cut to a few blocks away where Lobo, unconscious, is getting mugged by some guys, like they're robbing him. He all of a sudden wakes up and then just starts beating the ever-loving crap out of everybody. And once he's killed them all, he's like, that's a good way to start the fragging morning. And then one of the aliens that reset the timeline comes up, and he's like, hey, Lobo, I've got a proposition for you. You want to hear about it? And he, melts Lobo's mind and takes him back to his memories of him growing up on Zarnia. And we just basically get the origin of Lobo, where he walks him through and says, yeah, no, I just want to know what makes you tick, Lobo. And Lobo's like, okay. We all lived happy lives on Zarnia where we all shared a mixed DNA thing where everyone got upgrades to their DNA all at the same time. And then during our last upgrade, they set the testosterone levels too high and everyone just started killing each other. I, being a brilliant scientist, killed my family and then made a poison in my lab. And I made an antidote for myself, but it killed every other Zarnian. And so I was the last one alive, and as such, the computers that were making everyone's DNA go crazy focused solely on me, so I became from normal human-looking guy to the Lobo we all know today. And then I went and did just crazy space adventures like drugs and porn and a bunch of other stuff. And the alien's like, okay, cool. So you're a monster, right? And he's like, yeah, I guess. And he's like, cool, that's exactly what I want. So at this point, StormWatch has managed to make their way into a laboratory or a store or something. And Jenny Soul's calmed down now. The dude, what's his name? Skywatch, I think. He's mentally conversing with the Shadow Lords and just like, hey, if we're going up against an enemy that can rewrite the timeline, couldn't they just beat us with a thought? And the Shadow Lord tells them, no, if it was easy for them to do it, I feel like the Shadow Lords would have noticed it a little bit earlier, so it probably took a lot of effort on their end, and they're unlikely to do it again. And Skywatch's like, fair enough, I just don't like the fact my team has no idea what they're walking into. So, back down in the room, the forecaster calls out that the psi emissions are getting close to where the team is hanging out. And we see on the planet, Jenny notices one of the aliens just kind of pop his head in the room and then go back out again. And she's like, okay, well, they know we're here, so we got to deal with them now. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's go to where they need to go. Midnighter and Apollo clear a path. So then we get this weird sequence of Lobo walking up to this floating light, pinching it between his fingers to extinguish it, walking away, and then the light comes back. And one of the aliens is like, hey, why is Lobo pinching out that light? And they're like, who cares? He's Lobo. Who really gives a crap? And they say how Jenny's soul is a problem that needs to be dealt with because her telepathy could actually stop their plans and their sacred efforts and whatnot. So, gotta take care of that. We see a sniper on a roof attempt to shoot Jenny. She found out about it beforehand. She read the mind and she ducks out of the way. Apollo shoots the sniper with his powers, and then an all-out battle breaks out because, I don't know, they say that live fire is not allowed in this area, so you broke the rules first, so now we're all able to do it. So Midnighter jumps in head first to a crowd. He looks like he's getting overrun. He easily breaks out of it. Apollo's worried about Midnighter, but he's like, you got it. Anyway, let's jump into this. The Weird is trying to protect Jenny more so than anybody else. He's like the personal bodyguard to Jenny. So he's doing whatever he can to attack him. And Jenny's like, please, I don't want to be here anymore. This is too dangerous. And Skywatch is like, yeah, she's right, man. I'm going to pull him out because this is too much. They're going to get overrun. And then all of a sudden, Forecaster says, hold on. A ship is coming from nearby and it's friendly. And the ship starts firing at all the people who are attacking Stormwatch. And out steps this other lizard alien group. And Forecaster's like, I have no idea who these are, but they're on our side, so let's take the win where we can get it. And as the fight winds down and one of the sides is retreating, the other side that came in says, hey, we are the Canaanites. We are a religious order. The people that we are fighting against and who are fighting you were called Bruticus. They are like neo-fascists, and we've been stuck in a political war with them forever, and you're going to help us turn the tides. And Skywatch is like, are you telling me that Stormwatch's first mission just got involved in an intergalactic political war between a religious sect and fascists? That's just fantastic. That's great. I love this. So then Lobo, he's just stumbling through the alleyways. It seems he's still having visions being sent to him by the aliens, and they're like, hey Lobo, you're on a beach just watching some dolphins right now, but let me ask you something. Do you ever feel bad that you don't have a conscience? And Lobo's like, why would I feel bad if I don't have a conscience? And he's like, fair enough. But if I gave you the chance to rewrite your history and make it so all the bad things didn't happen, would you take that? And he's like, yeah. Imagine what I could get away with if nobody was after me anymore. That'd be friggin' awesome. And the alien's like, all right, cool. So you're in? He's like, yeah, why not? Sign me up. And that's the issue. Okay. This is a lot easier to understand than the last issue. But that being said, there was like a main dude who's leading this mission who has like the energy blasts. I know we introduced him last issue, but like they didn't say it again at any point in this issue. I think it's Hellstrike. Sounds right. You gotta give me more, man. This is the same problem I was having with Legion. You're introducing too many things and then you're not reintroducing them with each issue. It's been a month. I forget your new characters. You gotta give me something here. The only reason I remembered Jenny Souls because they said it like 4 times. I needed that for each of the characters, and you're not. On top of that, what are we doing with this alien plot? I'm sure, like, it sounds like there is a larger plan going on. It's not that the aliens just showed up and disappeared. They are the enemy, but I don't know. I still feel like I'm like only getting the vague outlines as to what the plan is. And maybe that's intentional, but it's getting me more and more confused as they continue on, because why in the hell would they need someone like Lobo? That's insane to me. So yeah, overall, I'll give this one I'll give it a 6.5. It's not great by any means, but it is above average. It's a perfectly reasonable comic book. It's fine. I don't know. There's nothing horrible about it except for the 18 issues that came before the new timeline throwing me off. I keep expecting it to like show back up. So yeah, 6.5.